Hello there, wrestling fans. I've been watching Friday Night SmackDown from this Friday, November 27th, and quite frankly, I don't think that there is that much to say about that episode more than, well, of course, I'm going to talk about it, but it was an okay episode. I think that if we look back the two last weeks now, Raw has been really dominating SmackDown. Raw has been dominating wrestling as a whole with two very good episodes where TNA's Impact or SmackDown, ECW haven't been able to measure with Raw. Raw and SmackDown this week, it was a good show. It was quite good matches. But in a way it felt like there was reruns of old matches as well, and of course we seldom see entirely new matches, but we saw CM Punk versus Matt Hardy, and interesting with that match was Luke Gallows, the new wrestler, which I saw and I thought at first, well, doesn't that look like Festus, and then I saw yes, it was Festus, and I think it was good of CM Punk to mention that, hey, you might think that this is Festus, but yeah, well, it was Festus, but that was a lifetime ago, and now we also know that the reason why Festus was like he was, acting mentally challenged, was because of, according to CM Punk, a abuse of pills and drugs, be that as it may, but and apparently CM Punk has saved Luke Gallows. He wrestled Matt Hardy tonight. CM Punk lost via disqualification due to Gallows interfering in the match, and he looked kind of good. He looked like this thug, this bad boy who's more or less actually just come out of prison or come off of drugs. So yeah, I think it's good, and they really needed to get rid of Festus, the old gimmick, and well, there really isn't any good way to do that. But having a gimmick like Festus had is very limiting, and it's more or less like a cage, because how do you get out of that gimmick? You have been acting like you're mentally retarded, challenged. How do you come off from that? But they did that in an acceptable way, enhancing CM Punk's gimmick, and he also ripped into Jeff Hardy's new DVD that has actually, by all means, is going to be released despite of Jeff Hardy leaving the WWE and being arrested for possession of drugs. So CM Punk goes on. Also, what happened was we saw Batista being crowned the new #1 contender for Undertaker's championship. They are going to wrestle at TLC, maybe in a chairs match, because the show ended with the Undertaker getting assaulted by Batista with a chair. He was really victimized and brutalized by Batista, the animal, and maybe this will be the chairs match that they've been talking about. They're going to have a TLC match, a tables match, and a ladders match, and apparently they are going to have a chairs match also at TLC. I don't really know what a chairs match is. Maybe it's going to be a chair on a pole match or something like that, or a weapons of choice match, and that's going to be a chair, because I have never heard of a chairs match before, but that's interesting. We'll see what they will do with it. Maybe that's what the Undertaker versus Batista match will be for TLC, a chairs match, because that's the only match they have left to put some wrestlers into, because we already have a ladders match, Christian versus Shelton Benjamin. We have a TLC match, Jericho versus DX, and we have a tables match, John Cena versus Sheamus. We also saw, and apparently there's a rift between Vicky Guerrero and Eric Escobar. They're apparently not a couple anymore, and I was surprised that WWE split them up so soon. Maybe they felt that the duo didn't work out as well as they could have, or that was just an excuse to bring Vicky Guerrero back to TV now that she's the consultant of Theodore R. Long, and kind of trying to bully Theodore R. Long, who responded well to that and put Vicky in her place, putting Escobar in a match that she asked for against John Morrison for the Intercontinental Championship, a match where I actually expected Escobar to have some offense, but he more or less didn't, and he lost the match pretty quickly. Vicky Guerrero dumped Eric Escobar in disgrace, and then Eric Escobar backstage dumped Vicky right back. So they have kind of double dumped each other, and it's hard to see that they're going to stay together as a couple and as a tandem in wrestling. What I'm worried about here is just Vicky Guerrero is going to go move on, because she is a consultant on SmackDown. She's a prominent character on SmackDown. She has very good heel heat, so WWE definitely want to keep her, I believe. But the question is, as I see it, where does this leave Eric Escobar? Was this just a tryout for him on SmackDown, and he's now going to go back to FCW, or what is going to happen with Eric Escobar? I don't really, is in a face turn, because to me he doesn't really cut it as a face. He was way better than as a heel. So in my mind, Vicky Guerrero is just going to do fine from this. But where will Eric Escobar end up after this split up between him and Vicky? Furthermore, we saw once again the Undertaker versus Chris Jericho, and I'm kind of surprised that this is the second time in 3 weeks that they just throw this match away. This was a match that everyone talked about right after the draft. I remember this. Everyone said, hey, isn't the case that Jericho has never faced the Undertaker, not on Raw, not on ECW, not on SmackDown, not even on a pay-per-view or something. Never. Despite them being in the WWE for so long, they have never crossed paths. And yeah, pretty soon fans at WWE even themselves acknowledged that, yeah, these two guys haven't even wrestled. So it was a potential big money feud for me here, as I see it. But no, WWE instead has thrown away 2 matches on SmackDown. One where Undertaker won pretty quickly, the last one last night on Friday SmackDown, where Undertaker won via disqualification due to interference from Batista, who said by commentary without saying a word as usual. And I don't understand why WWE did this. Either they don't see this as a money match, or is it that the Undertaker is slated to more or less retire pretty soon, and that this is the only way they're ever going to have this match, because they don't see that they have time for the match otherwise. I don't know. Maybe it is that Undertaker is going to take a break right after WrestleMania again. And if he's going to retire, is he just going to come back to WrestleMania? Because there is a lot of talk that the Undertaker streak is going to end with 20-0. Be that as it may. And this is pretty much all I had to say. Just going through the matches. Not that much happened tonight. It was the matches and pretty much nothing else. So, well, feel free to comment on my video and discuss whatever you want to discuss. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be back with a new segment pretty soon that I think I'm going to call Kill or Keep, where I'm going to discuss something that you people discuss a lot. Is this good or is it bad? And it's going to be a new subject every week. I don't really know when I will start that new segment, but in the upcoming days, I believe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.